Robyn takes the stand shaking, mascara smudged. She admits she has been hiding something. Not to protect Kody, but to protect the kids. Reveals private texts, late-night calls, emotional manipulation. She breaks down, explaining how she got pulled deeper into Kody's world. She says she saw something the night the family broke apart, something she's never said aloud. The courtroom watches breathlessly, ends with cliffhanger. Robyn whispers, "I was there, and I know what really happened." The courtroom feels colder than it should. Not the kind of cold that comes from air conditioning or winter drafts, but the kind that creeps under your skin when something life-changing is about to happen. When the doors open, every face turns, expecting a criminal, a celebrity, a stranger. But instead, it's them. The family America thought it knew. Kody Brown walks in first, shoulders stiff, jaw locked, eyes forward, like he's bracing himself for a direct hit. He doesn't look left or right. He doesn't look at the people gathered. He doesn't even look at the women who spent decades holding his life together. Behind him, Christine walks with slow steps, each foot placed carefully as if the floor might crack at any moment. Her eyes stay on the ground, but her breathing is hard, heavy, like she's been carrying this truth for too many years. Janelle enters next. She tries to appear composed, her chin lifted, her jaw tight, but her fingers shake when she sets her purse down. As she slides into her seat, her hand lifts to her face, and she brushes away a tear quickly, hoping no one notices. Meri comes last, arms folded tightly across her chest, mouth pressed into a straight line. She isn't crying, she isn't trembling, but she looks like someone who already knows that today will hurt more than anything before. And then, Robyn. She walks in with her bag hugged close to her chest, almost like a shield. Her eyes dart across the room, nervous, overwhelmed. She takes a seat farthest from Kody, her back nearly pressed against the wall, as if distance could protect her from whatever truth is about to surface. A hush falls over the room. Even the judge watches them for a long moment, as if taking in the weight of the family before him. This is no divorce hearing, no custody battle, no financial dispute. This case is something deeper, older, heavier. Something that has been buried under the reality show smiles and carefully edited episodes. Kody keeps tapping his thumb against the table. Fast, anxious, relentless. It's a nervous habit, one he used to do during filming, whenever he was caught off guard. Christine can hear the tapping from her seat. She closes her eyes for a second, trying to steady herself. The judge clears his throat. This court is now in session. Today, we address a matter brought forth by Ms. Christine Brown, with testimony expected from Mrs. Janelle Brown, Mrs. Robyn Brown, and Ms. Meri Brown. This case concerns an event that occurred within the Brown family several years ago. The air shifts, people lean forward. Kody's head snaps toward Christine, finally looking at her for the first time today. His voice is a low, forced whisper, but the mic picks it up just enough. "Christine, you don't have to do this." She doesn't respond. She doesn't blink. Her eyes are fixed on the judge, but her thoughts are somewhere else. Somewhere years back. The judge continues. "Before we begin, I want to state for the record, this is not a case about divorce settlements, parenting decisions, or the television program involving the family. This is a case about accountability and a truth that has remained hidden for far too long." A collective inhale sweeps through the courtroom. The tension becomes almost physical, pressing against shoulders and chests. If you've ever wondered what really shattered the Brown family, stay with me, because this moment is where it begins to unravel. Kody stiffens. He knows what's coming, or at least he thinks he does. But Christine's hands, they tell a different story. Her fingers keep brushing the inside of her coat, where something is hidden. Something important. The judge looks over his glasses. "Ms. Christine Brown, please approach the stand." Her heartbeat can almost be heard through the microphone. She stands slowly, clutching her coat closed with one hand. As she walks toward the witness stand, her steps echo sharply, each one a countdown to the truth she has avoided for years. When she sits down, she exhales shakily. For a moment, she seems fragile, like a woman exhausted from carrying a secret too long. But when the judge asks her to state her name, her voice is surprisingly steady. "My name is Christine Brown." "Ms. Brown," the judge says gently, "in your initial statement to the court, you mentioned an event you described as the night the family broke. Are you prepared to speak about that today?" Christine's throat tightens. She nods. But before she can speak, the narrative shifts again. The lighting seems dimmer, the air thicker. Even the viewers watching this in their minds feel the shift. The story entering its deeper, darker layer. "Before I tell this," Christine finally says, "I want the court to understand something. This family didn't fall apart overnight. It didn't break because of disagreements or distance or jealousy. It broke because of something that happened long before we ever stood in front of a camera, and I've kept that truth locked away." The judge leans forward slightly. "What truth is that?" Christine opens her mouth, but nothing comes out at first. Her lips tremble. Her eyes flick toward the gallery, toward the cameras, toward the women who once shared her world. Then her gaze lands on Kody. He looks furious. Not just nervous, furious. His jaw clenches, his foot taps. His eyes narrow into that expression the world saw countless times. Defensive, dismissive, quietly threatening. "Christine," he mutters again, "you don't have to do this." But she inhales sharply and continues. "I stayed silent to protect my children, to keep the family together, to keep the show going. But I realized something when I left. Silence can destroy a person just as much as the truth. More even. And today, I'm done being silent." Robyn wipes her cheek quickly. Janelle presses her hand to her mouth. Meri looks down, unable to make eye contact with anyone. The room leans in. Christine's fingers finally slide into her coat and pull out a small envelope. Worn, slightly wrinkled, sealed with tape that looks years old, Kody's eyes widen. He knows that envelope. He remembers the night it was sealed. His hand shoots up, as if instinctively reaching for it, but he stops himself. Christine sets the envelope gently on the stand. "Everything started because of what's inside this, and I'm ready to talk about it." The prosecutor steps forward. "Ms. Brown, when did you receive this envelope?" She hesitates. "The night everything changed." The courtroom shifts again. Like the air itself is holding its breath, the prosecutor asks, "Ms. Brown, what exactly happened that night?" Christine's eyes glaze slightly, not in confusion, but in memory. She sees the flashback behind her eyes, the house, the argument, the moment a line was crossed. Her voice drops to a whisper. "Kody did something that night that shocked me. Something I never expected from him. And when I confronted him about it, he gave me this." Even Kody flinches. The judge raises a brow. "And what is inside the envelope?" Christine's throat bobs as she swallows. "Proof. Proof of what he said. Proof of what he planned. Proof of what he tried to make us all believe never happened." Janelle's sob breaks the silence, but Christine's voice gathers strength. "I have held on to this for years. I've carried it like a weight on my chest. I've tried to forget it. I've tried to forgive it. But the truth doesn't disappear just because we want it to." She reaches for the envelope. Her fingers tremble, but she begins to peel the tape slowly. Everyone watches. Even the judge's eyes follow the motion. The envelope opens with a small tearing sound, quiet, but loud enough to echo in the tense silence. Christine looks inside. Her breath catches, her eyes widen, and she gasps. A small, sharp sound that sends a ripple through the entire courtroom. For the first time, pure fear flickers across Kody's face. The prosecutor steps closer. "Ms. Brown, what did you find?" Christine doesn't answer. She stares at the contents in her hands as if she's seeing a ghost. Something she never expected. Something worse than she remembered. Something that makes her let out a trembling breath. Everyone waits. The judge leans in. Kody shifts uncomfortably. Robyn whispers, "Oh God." Christine slowly raises her eyes, tears forming. And then, with a voice that shakes the room, she says, I should have told the truth sooner." And before she can reveal what's inside, the judge interrupts gently. Ms. Brown. What exactly is that? Christine closes her eyes, takes one more breath, opens her mouth, and the screen cuts to black. The courtroom feels even tighter now, as if the walls themselves inch closer with every breath Christine takes. Her hands still tremble around the opened envelope, her eyes fixed on whatever lies inside. But she doesn't speak. She just stares, frozen, caught between the woman she used to be and the truth she's finally ready to uncover. The judge leans forward. Ms. Brown, whenever you're ready. But Christine doesn't move. She looks like she's trying to gather pieces of herself from years of pain, years of swallowing words, years of pretending everything was okay for the sake of the cameras, the kids, the world. When she finally lifts her head, her eyes glisten with tears she refuses to let fall. Kody, she whispers, you told me to destroy this. You said keeping it would ruin us. Kody's jaw tightens. He leans forward, gripping the table. Christine, enough. You're making this bigger than it. Sit down, Mr. Brown. The judge snaps sharply. The room stiffens as Kody sinks back into his chair, but the look he throws at Christine is the same look he used to give during arguments, controlled anger hidden behind a strained smile. But today, he can't smile. Today, the truth corners him. Christine inhales slowly, shakily. I'm going to start from the beginning, she says, voice still trembling, because the night I received this envelope wasn't the first night things went wrong. It was the night I realized our family wasn't safe anymore. A ripple of murmurs passes through the courtroom, but Christine doesn't react. She's somewhere else now, somewhere deep in memory. It wasn't long after one of our show's happiest episodes aired, she begins. People thought we were doing great, smiling, laughing, filming special moments for the camera. Her lips pressed together. But when the cameras left, everything changed. The narrator tone softens, dropping into a darker emotional register. Christine's hands tighten around the edges of the envelope. One night, years ago, she continues, Kody came home angrier than I had ever seen him. Something had happened, something we couldn't talk about on camera, but it shook him. And instead of talking to us, instead of turning to me or Janelle or Meri, he blamed us. Kody shifts instantly. I never blamed Mr. Brown. The judge's tone is a warning, sharp enough to cut the air. Kody stops. Christine continues. He said the family wasn't united, that the wives weren't loyal, that the kids were questioning him too much, and that everything was slipping out of his control. Her voice cracks just slightly. I tried to calm him down. I tried to tell him we could fix things together. But he shouted at me that he didn't want help, that we were the reason everything was falling apart. She pauses. The courtroom listens in painful silence. And then, she says, her voice trembling harder, he told me he had made a decision he had written down, a plan. A cold wave rolls through the room. Even the cameras seem to focus tighter. Kody wrote something? The prosecutor asks, something he asked you to destroy? Christine nods slowly. Yes. She holds up the envelope slightly. It's in here. Kody slams his palm lightly against the table. This is absurd. The judge's gavel cracks loudly. Mr. Brown, you will remain silent unless spoken to. Christine swallows again, her breath shaky. He gave it to me the night of our worst argument. He said it was just a moment of anger, but then he tried to take it back. He begged me to burn it. He said if I didn't, everything would fall apart. Her voice becomes almost a whisper. And he was right. Her hand slips into the envelope. She pulls out a folded piece of paper. Yellowed slightly, the edges creased, ink faded in places. The courtroom watches with breathless tension. She unfolds it slowly. 1 crease, 2, 3. And then she reveals the page fully. Her eyes skim the words again, and her expression breaks. Pain, shock, heartbreak layered together like it's the first time she's truly letting herself feel the weight of it. Sometimes, the moment you finally allow yourself to feel the truth is the moment everything becomes clearer than it ever was. Christine takes a deep breath and begins reading aloud, This, she says, voice shaking, is what Kody wrote that night. She holds up the paper slightly so the court can see the familiar handwriting. It says, she begins, I can no longer trust the loyalty of this family. I need to decide who is worth keeping close and who needs to step back. Gasps ripple across the room. Even Meri lifts her head, startled. Christine continues reading. If things don't change, I will leave the ones who hold me back. I will save the ones who listen. The family is collapsing, and if it does, I will not take responsibility. I will take control. Christine's voice cracks. She lowers the paper, tears filling her eyes. That's the night I realized Kody wasn't trying to fix us. He was trying to choose who mattered to him. And for the first time, I felt afraid. The last word shakes the room. Kody is pale now, jaw tight, eyes cold. Christine, he says, struggling to control his voice. That was a private note. I wrote it in a moment of frustration. You weren't supposed to use it? Christine snaps softly. You begged me to burn it. Not because you regretted writing it, but because you didn't want anyone to know. Silence. Christine closes her eyes briefly. But that wasn't the worst part, she says softly. Not by far. The prosecutor steps forward. Ms. Brown, what do you mean by that? Was there more? Christine nods, her fingers shaking slightly as she lifts the paper again. There's a second part, she whispers. Kody added it at the bottom after our argument. She clears her throat, forcing the words out. If Christine speaks about this to anyone, she will ruin the family. She will destroy everything we built. Her voice breaks completely. It felt like a threat, maybe not meant as one, but that's how it landed. The judge exhales heavily through his nose. Even Robyn covers her mouth with her hand, whispering, oh my gosh. But Christine isn't finished. Because as heavy as the note is, the story behind it is heavier. She sets the paper down gently and wipes her eyes. That night didn't end with a letter, she says softly. It ended with something I've never talked about. Something I've kept buried. The narrator's tone deepens here, darker, slower. Kody came back to my room later, she says. He knocked on my door, hard. It scared me. Her voice softens even more. He said he wanted the letter back. He pushed his way into the room. He was breathing hard. His face was red. I didn't know what he was going to do. Every eye in the courtroom opens wider. Kody shifts uncomfortably. His jaw clenches again. Christine's hands grip each other tightly. He didn't hurt me, she says quickly. Not physically. But the look in his eyes, that anger, it broke something inside me. Her voice rises slightly with remembered fear. He said if I didn't give him the letter, the family would fall apart. He said it would be my fault. She wipes a tear, and I believed him. For years, I believed him. Her chest rises and falls sharply. Her voice cracks again as she speaks. That's why I never talked about it. That's why I stayed quiet when things got bad. When the wives were fighting, when the kids were hurting, I thought everything was my fault. Her breath trembles. I carried that letter like a secret that could destroy our whole world. The courtroom is frozen. And then Christine says the words that change everything. But the truth is, that night wasn't about saving the family. It was about controlling it. The judge sits back slowly, absorbing her words. Janelle wipes her eyes. Meri stares straight ahead, motionless. Robyn shakes silently, whispering, Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you tell us? Christine breathes deeply, gathering strength she never knew she had. Kody, she says, turning her gaze directly toward him, you broke something that night. Something inside all of us, and I've kept quiet for so long, but I'm done protecting a lie. Kody finally snaps, his voice sharp. You're twisting this. I was overwhelmed. I was trying to manage us? Christine whispers. Or control us. Their eyes lock. Years of resentment, fear, heartbreak, and silence meeting in one brutal moment, the judge regains control. Ms. Brown, is there anything else in the envelope? Christine nods slowly. Yes, she whispers. There's one more thing. She reaches in again. Her fingers brush against something small, something rigid. She pulls out a photograph. The courtroom stiffens. Christine's hands shake violently as she stares at it. Her voice barely escapes her throat. This is what I forgot about, she says. This picture. I didn't remember putting it in the envelope, but now? Her breath catches. Now I do? The prosecutor steps closer. What's in the photo? Christine doesn't answer immediately. Her eyes fill again, but this time it's not fear. It's shock. It's from that night, she whispers. Someone took this photo. Someone caught the moment everything started. She lifts the picture up so the judge can see it. His eyes widen. Christine turns it slightly. Kody shifts, panicked. Don't, he starts. But she raises her voice, steady for the first time. It's a picture of Kody talking to someone he told us never existed. Gasps erupt across the room. Kody's face drains of color. Christine swallows hard. I know who this person is, she says, breathing shakily. And when you see this picture, you'll understand exactly why our family started falling apart. She turns the photo, but before the court sees the face, the judge lifts a hand. Ms. Brown, he says slowly, who is the person in the photo? Christine looks up, tears spilling now. And with a voice that shakes the entire courtroom, she whispers, it was the person he swore he cut out of his life forever. The prosecutor steps forward urgently. And who is that? Christine's lips part. She takes a trembling breath, and just as she is about to reveal the name, the camera fades to black. The courtroom feels heavier than ever. Every eye seems drawn to Janelle, who sits quietly, almost invisible, yet radiating an energy that hints she is about to change everything. Christine's revelation from the last session still hangs in the air like smoke. Untouchable, lingering, dangerous. The wives shift uneasily. Kody fidgets, his hands clenching and unclenching as though trying to squeeze control back into his grasp. Janelle rises, slowly, deliberately. Her heels echo softly against the polished floor, a metronome of tension. She adjusts her blouse, folds her hands, and walks toward the witness stand. This is a woman who has spent years keeping secrets, smoothing over cracks, and pretending the family's fractures weren't as deep as they are. But today she is ready to break the silence. The judge nods. Ms. Brown, please take the stand. Her voice is soft, measured, almost hesitant at first. My name is Janelle Brown, she says. But there's steel beneath the softness. Everyone leans in. I've watched this family, she continues, for years. I've watched secrets grow, lies fester, and truths be buried. I stayed silent because I believed it would protect everyone, including Kody, but the truth cannot be protected anymore. The court leans forward. Even the stenographer seems to pause, sensing the weight of the moment. Sometimes, the silence we keep is louder than the truth we avoid. Janelle exhales and lifts a folder from her bag. It's worn, edges frayed, taped at the corners. She lays it carefully on the stand, opening it slowly, deliberately. Kody shifts in his seat. His eyes widen as recognition flashes across his face. That file, he mutters under his breath. How? But the judge silences him with a sharp glance. Janelle slides a photo from the top of the folder. She holds it up for the court to see. It's not just any photo. It's the moment Christine had hinted at, captured in chilling clarity. The photograph shows Kody in conversation with someone no one knew he had ever been close to. Someone whose existence he had denied countless times on camera. The very person who had quietly undermined the family for years. The room goes still. Robyn gasps, her hands flying to her mouth. Meri leans forward, eyes wide. Christine's face is pale, almost as if the photograph has drained the color from her entirely. She pulls out a stack of documents beneath the photo. These are letters, notes, and confidential recordings, all corroborating what the photo suggests. Evidence of Kody's secret communications with this mysterious figure. Evidence that goes far beyond what anyone could have imagined. Kody rises abruptly. That's impossible. These are fabrications, he shouts, his voice echoing in the courtroom. Mr. Brown, the judge interjects firmly. You will remain seated unless directly addressed. Janelle swallows hard, but presses on. This isn't about fabrications, she says. This is about the reality of what's been happening behind closed doors. For years, I tried to cover for him, to excuse the actions, to protect the family's image, but this is the undeniable truth. She carefully lays the documents on the stand, flipping through each page. Letters from Kody to this hidden person, detailing plans, excuses, and manipulations. Some pages are written in handwriting that only Janelle could identify. His personal shorthand, notes meant to be private, now exposed. Robyn leans forward, whispering under her breath, "I knew something was off. I just didn't know how deep." Christine closes her eyes, trembling. The photograph, the letters, they confirm what she has feared for years. Yet seeing it all laid bare is almost too much to bear. Janelle lifts a recording from the folder. "This audio," she says, her voice calm but heavy, "is from the night after the envelope incident Christine mentioned. I recorded it because I had to protect myself, and now it will speak for itself." The courtroom falls silent as the tape plays. Kody's voice echoes through the speakers, calm but cold. "I need to know where everyone stands. Who can I trust? Who will follow through? We can't afford mistakes." Christine flinches, recognizing the tone, the manipulation. Robyn gasps again. The prosecutor scribbles notes frantically. Janelle continues, voice shaking slightly. "He thought no one would hear this. He thought we were blind, but we weren't. And now, finally, the truth cannot be denied." Kody pounds his fist against the table. "This is an invasion. This is betrayal." Janelle's eyes flash with emotion. "Betrayal? I did this to save what little was left. I did this because the lies were destroying us. And now, everyone will know the reality of that night." She pauses, letting her words sink in. The night that changed everything wasn't just about anger or frustration. It was about choices. Choices that would affect every single one of us. Janelle flips to another page in the folder. It's a handwritten note from Kody to this hidden figure. The note is a shockingly candid plan for controlling information within the family, dictating who can speak, and even subtly manipulating the children. Meri covers her mouth with her hand, the weight of realization pressing down on her. Robyn's eyes well up, trembling as she whispers, He's been controlling everything." Christine's voice cracks as she speaks under her breath. "All those years? I thought I was protecting the family, but I was protecting him." The judge's voice cuts through the tension. "Ms. Brown, is there more evidence?" Janelle nods. "Yes, Your Honor. There's a final piece." She pulls out a small envelope, carefully sealed and labeled, "I was going to destroy this," she admits. "But after what I've seen, I know it's the key to understanding the truth." The prosecutor leans forward. "What is it?" Janelle hesitates, her hands shaking slightly. "It's a file that no one has seen before. Financial records, personal notes, communications, all hidden by Kody to keep control. And it shows exactly what he was planning on the night the family began to break." Kody's face pales. He rises suddenly, panic in his eyes. "No, you can't." The judge slams the gavel. "Sit down, Mr. Brown. This court will not tolerate interruptions." Janelle lifts the envelope, her hands steady now, the fear replaced by resolve. She slowly opens it, pulling out the first sheet. The court leans in, captivated. The first page reveals lists of instructions, names, dates, and coded language. Everything pointing to Kody's attempts to control not only the family dynamics, but also how the truth would be revealed to the public. Robyn gasps audibly. He manipulated everything." Meri's hand trembles as she clutches her purse. I can't believe it." Christine sits back, tears running down her cheeks. This proves it. This proves everything I feared." Kody's face is ashen. This is impossible. Fabrication," he yells again, but his voice wavers. The prosecutor steps forward. "Your Honor, this is clear evidence of premeditated deception and control within the family. It corroborates multiple testimonies and photographic evidence already submitted." Janelle looks at Kody, her voice steady. cold. I protected this family for too long. I kept secrets because I believed in him. But the time for silence is over. Everyone deserves the truth, and today, you will face it. She sets the final sheet down. The courtroom holds its collective breath, the weight of years of lies pressing down on every witness, every lawyer, every observer. The room is tense. Kody's hands shake, his face white. The wives exchange glances, emotions raw, exposed. The judge looks down, pen hovering over the notes, and then Janelle leans in slightly and says, her voice low and cold, "This is just the beginning." The courtroom is silent, but the tension could be cut with a knife. Everyone knows what's coming next will be even darker. The room is still, almost suffocatingly quiet. Janelle's revelations have left the courtroom hanging in a tension so thick it feels like it could crack the walls. Kody slouches in his seat, pale and stiff, the evidence staring him down like a mirror reflecting years of secrets. Christine wipes her tears quietly, still haunted by what has been exposed. Meri fidgets with her hands, her face pale, and in the far corner, Robyn sits, her bag clutched against her chest like a shield. Her mind racing, she takes a slow, deliberate breath. Every heartbeat pounds in her ears. She knows the weight of what she is about to say. She knows the moment she steps forward will change the entire courtroom, and every relationship she has ever had with Kody and the other wives. The judge nods to her. "Miss Brown, please take the stand." Robyn rises slowly, trembling slightly. Her steps echo on the polished floor, a metronome of tension. The courtroom watches in near silence. She sits, places her bag gently at her feet, and looks straight at Kody. "Kody," she begins, voice soft but shaking. I've been keeping a secret too. Something I never wanted anyone to know." Kody straightens in his seat. "Robyn, you don't—" "Please." The judge interrupts firmly. "Let Ms. Brown speak." Robyn swallows hard, closing her eyes for a moment as if to gather courage from somewhere deep inside. When she opens them, her gaze is unwavering. "I was there," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. "I saw everything the night it all started. I wasn't part of it, not physically, but I watched. I witnessed things that I've been too afraid to tell anyone." She pauses, letting her words hang in the room like a storm cloud. Robyn reaches into her bag and pulls out a small envelope. Her hands shake violently as she places it on the stand. It's slightly worn, taped at the edges, marked with Kody's handwriting from years ago. The courtroom stiffens. "This envelope," Robyn continues, "contains messages, recordings, and notes. All from the night that changed our family forever. I kept it hidden to protect the kids, to protect myself, and to protect him. But now, I have to speak the truth." Kody rises abruptly. "You can't. That envelope, it doesn't mean anything. Mr. Brown," the judge interrupts sharply. "Remain seated." Robyn opens the envelope slowly. The first item is a series of text messages between Kody and someone no one in the family knew he was communicating with. Messages that reveal manipulation, emotional control, and threats of secrecy. She begins reading aloud. "If anyone finds out, it will ruin everything." Her voice shakes. "They must never know the truth. Keep them in line, or they will regret it." The courtroom goes deathly silent. Even the air feels thick, suffocating. Robyn's voice cracks as she reads the next message. "If Robyn speaks, everything is over." Christine gasps audibly. I can't believe this." Robyn swallows, tears spilling down her cheeks. "I stayed silent because I wanted to protect the family. I stayed silent because I was afraid, but now I know silence is what allowed him to continue controlling all of us." Kody pounds his fists against the table. "This is fabricated. You're lying. You're twisting things." Robyn's eyes flash with anger. "Twisting things? I watched you do this, Kody. I saw you manipulate. I saw you threaten. I saw the fear in my children's eyes when you thought no one was looking. I stayed quiet, but I won't anymore." She reaches deeper into the envelope and pulls out another set of documents. Carefully printed notes, financial records, and a detailed timeline of events from the night everything began to unravel. Each sheet paints a picture of premeditation, control, and deception. Robyn pauses, her hands trembling as she clutches one of the papers. She looks at Kody, her voice softening slightly, tinged with heartbreak. I didn't want to expose you. I didn't want to destroy anyone. But I can't carry this alone anymore. I have to tell the court everything I saw and everything I know. She clears her throat and begins recounting the events of that night. Her tone shifts subtly between measured calm and emotional vulnerability, drawing the courtroom and the audience into the chaos she lived through. I watched as Kody made decisions. Decisions about who could stay, who had to step back, who would be silenced. I saw how carefully he manipulated the family. Even the kids were not spared. And I realized then, I could no longer protect him. Robyn's voice cracks as she continues. I also witnessed moments of kindness. Moments where he pretended to care. Moments where he convinced us he was one of us. But those were illusions, carefully crafted, and I saw through them. And it broke me to know I had believed them for so long. The prosecutor leans forward. Miss Brown, are there physical pieces of evidence supporting your testimony? Robyn nods. She pulls out a small recording device, pressing play. Kody's voice echoes through the courtroom, calm and calculated, yet unmistakably controlling. I need compliance. I need them to follow instructions. Any deviation will be dealt with. Do you understand? Her hands shake, but she continues. That night, I realized the family we thought we had was never real. It was all carefully managed by him. And for years, I carried the weight of knowing, of watching, and of staying silent. Robyn pauses, tears streaming freely now. She takes a deep breath, steadying herself before revealing the most devastating part. I also witnessed something else. Something no one knows. A choice that was made. A choice that led to irreversible consequences. I was too afraid to speak up. I told myself it wasn't my place. But now, I see that silence allowed that choice to happen, and I can never take that back. The courtroom gasps. Kody's hands tremble as he reaches toward the table, trying to seize the papers. Stop it, the judge snaps. Mr. Brown, remain seated. Robyn looks directly at Kody, her voice firm despite her tears. You wanted this family to believe everything was fine, but I saw it, I lived it. And now, the truth is coming out. She lays the final set of documents on the stand. Emails, photos, and text messages connecting Kody to his hidden communications and manipulations. The room leans in, eyes widening at the sheer volume of evidence. Robyn's voice drops to a whisper. This is what I couldn't say before I wanted to protect everyone, but the truth cannot stay buried any longer. Kody's face is pale, his jaw tight, his hands shaking. Christine grips her armrest. Janelle wipes away tears. Meri stares straight ahead, silent, her mind racing. The judge clears his throat. Ms. Brown, is this all the evidence you wish to present at this time? Robyn hesitates, swallowing hard. There's one more thing. Something I saw that night that I can never forget. Something I've never told anyone. She reaches into her bag again, producing a small sealed photograph. The court leans forward. The camera captures every eye in the room, every breath held in anticipation. This photo, Robyn says softly, trembling, shows the exact moment everything changed. I saw it with my own eyes, and until now, no one knew it existed. Her hands shake as she raises the photo. The faces of the wives and Kody are reflected in her gaze, raw and vulnerable. And in this photo, she whispers, her voice breaking, is the person who orchestrated the beginning of our family's downfall? The room goes silent. Kody's face drains of color. Christine gasps. Janelle trembles. Meri's eyes widen in disbelief. The judge leans forward. Ms. Brown, who is in the photo? Robyn swallows hard, taking a deep breath, knowing the world will never look at the Browns the same way again. She lifts her head, her eyes meeting Kody's, and whispers, You will know soon enough. But the consequences of this confession are only beginning. The courtroom is electric with tension. Every eye is fixed on Kody, who sits stiffly, fingers gripping the edge of the table like it's the last anchor keeping him upright. The photographs, letters, recordings, and testimony from Christine, Janelle, and Robyn lie scattered on the stands before him, each piece a hammer driving home the weight of decades of secrets. Kody swallows hard, his eyes darting between the wives, the judge, and the evidence. He feels the suffocating pressure of a truth he thought he controlled finally slipping through his fingers. The judge clears his throat. "Mr. Brown, you have heard the testimonies, seen the documents, and witnessed the evidence. Do you have anything to say?" Kody opens his mouth but closes it again. His chest rises and falls rapidly. The courtroom feels like it's closing in, walls bending, eyes burning into him from every angle. He finally exhales and speaks, voice trembling slightly, though trying desperately to sound steady. I never intended for it to go this far. I made mistakes, yes, but I never. Christine's lips press into a thin line, her eyes glimmering with fury and betrayal. Janelle shifts in her seat, trying to stay composed but failing. Robyn's hands tremble slightly as she folds the photograph she revealed, her gaze fixed on Kody like a hawk watching prey. The judge leans forward. "Mr. Brown, this is your opportunity to explain your actions. Your family has laid everything out before this court. Be honest and be specific." Kody swallows again, his throat tight. I tried to protect the family. I tried to keep everything together, but," he falters, voice breaking. "I see now that I lost sight of what really mattered. I thought control was the same as love, but it's not." The prosecutor steps forward, eyes piercing. "Mr. Brown, you manipulated, controlled, and threatened your family. You had years of private communications, secret plans, and documents. Do you deny these actions?" Kody's face pales. Yes, I made mistakes. But, no, Mr. Brown." The judge interrupts sharply. "This court requires full transparency. You will answer truthfully." Kody glances at Christine first. Her stare pierces him, cold, unforgiving. He then looks at Janelle, who shifts slightly but remains silent. Robyn's eyes, wide and unwavering, bore into him. For the first time, he realizes the enormity of what he has done. Not just to the family, but to himself. I had an ally," Kody begins slowly. "Someone I trusted. Someone I thought would help manage the chaos. Someone I thought would keep the family together." The prosecutor leans forward sharply. "Who is this person, Mr. Brown?" Kody swallows hard. It's someone I promised to cut off. But I never did. I thought I could control it. But it spiraled. I tried to protect us, to protect everyone. But I see now that I only protected myself." Christine's hands tremble. "You promised? You lied for years." "I know," Kody whispers, almost inaudibly. "I lied. I hid things. I made choices, decisions that hurt all of you. And now I can't take them back." The courtroom hangs in silence. The weight of his confession presses down on everyone, each word a dagger twisting in the wounds left by years of secrecy and manipulation. Kody's gaze flickers to the envelopes, to the photographs, to the recordings. I can explain some of it," he says, voice trembling. "But the rest I cannot. It's all too late for some things." Robyn's hands tighten around the envelope she holds. "Too late?" she repeats, voice shaking. "Do you realize what you've done? Do you realize what this has cost all of us?" I do now," Kody admits, eyes glistening with tears. "I see the pain I've caused. The mistrust, the fear, the destruction of what was meant to be a loving family. I lost myself along the way." Janelle leans forward slightly, voice low but cutting. "You didn't just lose yourself, Kody. You lost all of us. And you've been holding on to lies for so long that the truth is barely recognizable." The judge interjects, voice calm but commanding. "Mr. Brown, this court recognizes the emotional complexity of this family. But you must now acknowledge the actions, the decisions, and the choices that have caused this turmoil. Start from the beginning and tell the truth, fully and without omission. Kody takes a deep breath, trembling as he begins recounting the pivotal night when everything spiraled. His voice cracks as he admits to controlling communications, hiding documents, manipulating events, and fostering fear within his family. Every word he utters is a dagger, slicing through the illusion of control he once held. He pauses, head in his hands, before lifting his gaze to the wives. I see now that I cannot undo the damage. But I am willing to face it. I am willing to be accountable, even if it means losing everything. Robyn shakes slightly, her eyes glistening with tears. Kody, do you understand what it means to truly face the consequences of your actions? This isn't just about apologies. It's about trust. And trust has to be rebuilt from the ground up. Kody nods slowly, voice quiet. I understand. I see it now. I've taken for granted the love and loyalty of everyone here, and I see how my actions have shattered that. I don't expect forgiveness, not yet, but I accept that this is my reality now. The judge leans forward. Mr. Brown, this court recognizes your willingness to acknowledge wrongdoing, but acknowledgement is only the first step. Your family deserves transparency, accountability, and a plan to move forward, if possible. Kody's shoulders slump, the weight of his confession evident. I will do whatever it takes. I will answer every question, reveal every secret, and face every consequence. I accept that I have been the architect of my own downfall. The prosecutor flips through documents again. Mr. Brown, can you clarify your involvement with the person revealed in the photograph and the communications uncovered by Ms. Janelle and Ms. Robyn? Kody exhales slowly, voice low but deliberate. Yes. I attempted to manage the situation. I thought I could control it, but I was wrong. I let it grow beyond my control. And now, it has come back to me, in full force. Christine leans forward, voice trembling. You let it grow? You lied for years while we suffered. How can you claim you were protecting us when all you did was manipulate, control, and hide? Kody falters. I see that now. I didn't understand the damage I was causing. I thought controlling events was protecting the family, but I see now it only caused pain. Robyn folds her hands tightly, voice firm. And what about the kids? Do you even realize what your actions have done to them? Kody's eyes glisten with tears. Yes, I see it now. And I am devastated. I wish I could undo it all. I wish I had acted differently. But I cannot go back. I can only face the consequences. The courtroom remains tense, every ear straining to catch each word, the evidence, the photographs, the testimonies. And now, Kody's confession have created an atmosphere charged with emotion, regret, and the heavy weight of truth. The judge looks down at his notes, then up at Kody. Mr. Brown, this court will now deliberate on the next steps. But understand this. The exposure of these truths has irrevocably changed the dynamics of this family, and the actions taken from this point forward will define whether healing is possible. Kody bows his head, trembling. I understand. I am ready to accept whatever judgment is necessary. I am ready to face the truth. The wives exchange glances, eyes heavy with emotion. Robyn whispers to Janelle, is he truly ready? Or is this another manipulation? Janelle shakes her head slowly, her voice barely audible. I don't know, but at least the truth is out now. Christine wipes her eyes, voice shaking. The truth is out, but now we have to live with it. The judge's gavel slams down. Silence envelops the courtroom. The tension is palpable, each person bracing for the next revelation, for the next confession, for the consequences yet to unfold. Just as Kody looks up, a court officer enters, holding a new folder, sealed, marked urgent. The judge opens it, scans the contents, and his expression shifts from professional calm to shock. Mr. Brown, there's one more file, one more secret that has just come to light. Everyone gasps. Kody's hands tremble. Robyn's eyes widen. Janelle grips her chair. Christine's face pales. And this This is the secret that could destroy the family entirely.